You know, when I was a kid, I used to have to travel a lot. My family would get in the car and just go. My dad had this thing about meeting on a regular basis, like at least once a year, practically everybody he was remotely related to. We'd go visit them at their houses, whether they were in Kansas or Oklahoma or Michigan. We just go all over. And one thing I remember from those travels, there's a lot of things I remember, but one thing in particular that comes to mind today, whenever we would come into a city where my dad hadn't been there in a while, or he had never been there before at all, or he just wasn't familiar with the local cuisine, and we were all hungry, he would always go to the restaurant where there were cop cars in the parking lot. And I've noticed this over time, over a few years. I think by the time I was like maybe 9 or 10, I'd kind of picked up on this. I was like, Dad, what's that about? And his explanation to me was that cops don't have to pay for their own gas. So it's the public that's paying, that's footing the bill when it comes to the travel time. So wherever they end up, whatever restaurant they go to, chances are that is the best restaurant in that area. So wherever you happen to go in life, just eat wherever the cops eat. And I hadn't thought about that in a while, but today on the way home, and I'm familiar with here, I live here, but I noticed that one of the restaurants that's one of my favorites that I go to an awful lot, there's cop cars there. So I guess I still do that. I guess I still, even to this day, I frequent the same places that cops do, and I don't know if it's coincidence or maybe unconsciously it's good advice. It's not something that I believe in, but my dad said it, and that makes sense, and it has seemed to have served me well thus far. It's a good idea.